Brother tried to kill our whole family on Halloween night due to his mental health. He now started a new plans against us. I'm a married mom of 3 kids 6 years old and younger. My little brother is almost 2 decades younger than me. He has high-functioning autism and developmental delay related to a brain injury when he was born. I helped raise him as much as I could, but our parents are pretty emotionally abusive, so I wasn't there a lot and we had grown apart a bit as he became a teen. He has done better than expected in life, graduating high school and attending a semester of college before getting a job cleaning a hospital. I helped him apply for the job, and when he had a mental breakdown I blamed myself for helping him get the job. He felt suicidal and homicidal for 2 months this summer. He has very few if any friends, never had a romantic relationship, and was obsessed with guns for a few years. I told my parents and other siblings he should not have guns when I learned he had them. His roommate joked he got him into guns and would get my husband into guns, to which I responded with, "Do not even try. We are not gun people." Anyway, in August, after reading bedtime stories to my kids, I got a text from my brother. He came over. He said he went to the desert to shoot himself but chickened out. I made him dinner and took him to a crisis center. I later learned he had plans to shoot the hospital he was working at, specifically the children's unit. He planned to take hostages. He had plans to die when police would get there. He purchased several guns and tactical gear, including an AR weapon and a milk crate full of bullets. He sexually abused a family dog. He had plans to stab my parents and sisters. Police and FBI was involved. He spent 2 months in a mental health hospital. I spoke with him by phone every few days. I believed he could get better with the meds and therapy. He was released 2 weeks ago and he said he felt better than ever and did not have any intrusive thoughts anymore. He got a dating app and was applying for jobs. He moved back in with our parents and was spending quality time with them. On Halloween my dad called me and said my brother is back in the mental hospital. Apparently, 2 weeks ago he lied to the hospital to get discharged. He had active plans of killing my parents. He bought a huge axe, a Halloween mask, and gloves. He covered the axe handle with tape. My parents found this in the car trunk. The car he gave them a ride in. My brother admitted that he planned to kill them in their sleep on Halloween night. He planned to kill my dad first, then my mom, then he planned to wear the gloves to stay warm in the forest so he could hide. My dad called the FBI agent to come get all the stuff they found in the trunk. They think the tape on the axe handle is to prevent slipping with blood. I'm horrified. My brother called a couple times from the hospital. He says he's ashamed. He admits to all of it. He says they will likely keep him for a bit, but he's already trying to figure out college and work, a living situation after release. I'm not a gun person. Should I get a gun and a gun safe? Should we get home security? I feel like my brother will try to hurt us and I want to do my best to protect ourselves. Update 1: Unfortunately we're still dealing with it and it got worse. So I am in my late 30s, married, work full-time, and have 3 young kids, 6 and under. My husband is a great father, extremely intelligent, and quite possibly the most stubborn person known to man. My brother is 21, has high-functioning autism and was working and living independently. My sisters are around his age, but in college. He was working as a custodian at a hospital. We spent weekends together playing Lego and he lived at our house for a few weeks when he couldn't stay with my parents. In August he admitted to me that he had thoughts of killing himself. I took him to a crisis center. I found out from the police the next day why that he wanted to shoot up the hospital pediatric unit, take hostages, had plans of death by cop. He was obsessed with guns and amassed weapons, a handgun and an AR rifle, milk crate full of ammo, and tactical gear. Police on a local and federal level were involved. He had his guns and ammunition taken from him. He admitted that he sexually abused the family dog as a teen. He admitted he derived excitement from thinking about killing people. Charges could not be brought because per police no crime was committed. He was in a mental hospital until October. He was medicated and told us he didn't have those thoughts anymore. He was released on meds back to my parents' house. Within a few days he bought a large axe, a Halloween mask, and gloves. He put tape on the axe, later admitting this was to prevent slipping with blood splatter. He had plans to kill mom and dad in their sleep with the axe on Halloween night. He told his doctor this during his follow-up visit on Halloween, and the doctor called police. My parents found the axe and all his supplies in his car trunk and gave it to the police. He got admitted to the hospital again. The prosecutor, both state and federal, wouldn't charge him. Buying guns, an axe, and having thoughts about hurting people is not a crime, they told us. My dad got a protection order against him. My mom is convinced she can fix him. My sisters are in college and far from his reach. I spoke with him by phone every few days, not revealing details about my life, but hoping that keeping contact could provide some safety for me and my kids. I helped raise him. I changed his diapers when he was a baby. He is my little brother and I felt scared that cutting contact completely would put us on his shit list. At this point he hadn't said we were a target. He asked if he could live with me, my husband, and my kids upon discharge. I told him no. I had to think of my kids. He said he understood. He said his Prozac and antipsychotic meds were helping. He told me about his friends at the hospital, his art, books, etc. I tried to be supportive of his therapy, encouraging him to keep taking meds and being honest with his doctors. He called me from the hospital on Monday multiple times. I was at work seeing patients so I couldn't talk. I picked up finally. He said he regrets not shooting up the hospital. He said he can't stop thinking about buying a sledgehammer and coming to my house, breaking and using it, then using it to kill me and the kids and my husband. He sounded like he was smiling and waiting for a reaction. It seemed like he was telling me because he got a kick out of it. I tried to stay calm not to give him the satisfaction. I told him that's disturbing, that he should talk to his doctor about it, and that I had to get back to work. He said I love you. And hung up. I called the hospital and his doctor told me he's admitted to wanting to kill me and my kids and husband. He told her that if he can't get a sledgehammer he wants to break into our backyard, break the glass back door with a brick, run up the stairs, bedroom area, and kill as many of us as he can before he gets caught. She said the meds are not working on him. She said they can't keep him in the hospital long term. No residential facility will accept him due to his case file. So worst case scenario he may be released on the street. In fact they nearly released him on February 3rd. I called police and pressed charges, still waiting to hear if prosecutor will accept. I went to court today and got a protection order for myself and the kids. I couldn't file for my husband. I told my parents, sisters, school, my employer. My mom said she's known he wanted to hurt someone for 3 weeks. I'm not a huge fan of my mom, and I was pissed she didn't communicate that to anyone. I asked my husband to consider moving ASAP. He is refusing. My sedentary 5 feet 7 inches 160 pounds husband says he can take my brother who is 6 feet 3 inches and over 200 pounds. I argued with my husband several days and a row about it, but he thinks we are safest in our home. He is thinking that getting a gun and staying put is the best choice. He says the security system he bought months ago but hasn't installed yet would alert police, and they'd be here in 10 minutes to help. He says he would wake from the sound of glass breaking and either take on my brother or push heavy furniture to block the stairs. I worry he isn't taking this seriously. I'm pushing forward with moving. I set up a visit with the bank to see if we can sell the house/buy a new one, and I am contacting a lawyer to set up a trust so I can pay bills and purchase the new home under the trust. This means it is more difficult to find our address online. My husband refuses to talk about it or engage. He's not helping make any arrangements. It stresses him out too much. I told him that once I hear that my brother is released from the hospital I am grabbing the go bag and the kids and leaving. He can stay in his house and fight my brother. I can't control what my husband does, but I feel that I can't risk it. My kids are too precious. I don't want my husband to be at risk, but I'm exhausted from trying to convince him we need to move. We are not safe in our house. Update 2: We are going through a challenging as fuck season of life. My brother threatened to kill all of us. We are safe for now, but I know he will try to hurt us if he gets out of the mental hospital. My husband wanted to stay and fight my brother if he comes to kill us. I argued and begged my husband to leave the state to protect our 3 young children. I lost my mind and had a panic attack and threatened divorce if he insists on staying in our house so he can fight my enormous brother to protect us. He agreed to move, but very begrudgingly. He tells me daily that I'm ruining everyone's lives. Our children's. His. That I'm moving us all to bring myself comfort. Regardless, our move is set. We're working to sell our house here and move. I've been looking at houses, found a real estate agent, arranged a meeting with the bank, applied and accepted a job in the new state while constantly trying to get his feedback. I'm working full time and dealing with police and court and trying to get a new license to practice in the new state. He is hurt. He's pissed that I'm making him move. He doesn't feel the same level of threat. He genuinely feels like I'm ruining our life. Tonight I was looking at houses in the area we are moving to. I sent him a few. He said he wants a house under 1 million, with half an acre, more than 3,000 square foot lot, 5+ bedrooms, newer than 2,000. He sent me a picture of a house he liked and would buy now. It was falling apart, in the middle of a mud lot, filthy, and very very far from work. Part of a wall was collapsed. I said that we should consider less than half an acre lot. There are great homes but we would have to compromise. There are homes that fit his dream but they're more expensive houses than our budget. He asked, "You do know how mortgages work, right?" in a condescending tone. I said no, because I've never bought a house before. He said, "You did your research, right? You always tell me to read parenting books." I do ask him to read parenting books. I send him articles. Since he's an engineer, he often needs me to show him studies and articles to support my points, and then he will pick the articles apart. He argues most requests and disagrees in most cases. I often feel stupid with him. But at work I'm often told I'm quite smart, knowledgeable, and I feel validated. I am a medical provider and coworkers and patients have made me feel like I am considerate and caring. I feel like asking him to just agree or be kinder and softer isn't messed up. I think moving has to happen and I wouldn't push for it unless I thought my brother's threats were real. I think reading up about parenting when you have to parent every day is smart. Especially since he gets very irritated by the chaos kids bring, and says he's fucking tired or in a nightmare all the time. I tried to read up about mortgages but I'm honestly having a tough time. It isn't my strong suit. I said we should rent for a while and save. He said, "Well, we don't have a choice." In a snarky tone. I wished he would have said something simple like, "Yeah, I agree." Or "Yeah, I think so." Just be kind. I started crying and left. We've been together for 12 years and I love our kids. And I love him. But this has been constant for our whole relationship and my brother threatening our lives just fucked up our already strained relationship. I feel defeated.